Hi everyone, welcome to week 2. In week 2, we're going to be focused on the following. If we click on right here on week 2, chapters 3 and 4, discussion board number 2. For this week, I have included your PowerPoints. I have included a lot of videos to help you with your analysis, and I think you'll find these videos very helpful that I've included right here. And you can review these videos to help you with the course concepts because the book can be challenging at times. And I have a practice quiz right here for you. This practice quiz will help you with the concepts and getting to understand them. Also have some ancillary materials right here and also the discussion board question. In the discussion board, let's focus on the requirements. Here are the requirements right here. Your first post is due by Thursday at 11:55 p.m. That's worth 10 points. Your initial post needs to have an APA formatted in-text citation and reference to support your work. You also need to focus on your content and development and use of economic terms. Also, you need to have 2 peer responses, and the peer responses can be to any of the questions that I ask or to any of the peers as well. But the question I'm looking at is looking at marginal benefit, marginal cost. And when you're looking at marginal benefit, marginal cost, you're looking at the additional benefit gained and the additional cost to obtain a specific good or service. So what you're looking at here is the ticket value. And what happens if you are hired as a consultant? What would you sell the tickets at using the $10? You want to focus on the role of marginal benefit, marginal cost in your answer. And then the last part of the question deals with utility. And what would you rather maximize, your total or marginal utility? But be very careful with that question as it's trying to trick you. But make sure to focus on an actual example in your analysis. That'll make it much easier for you. If you have any questions on that, or if you'd like me to pre-grade it, please let me know, as I can easily do that for you. For Chapter 3, we're going to be looking at consumer behavior. Consumer behavior is going to be focused on budget constraints, consumer choices, and how consumers make decisions in the market. You'll notice that we're going to look at different goods and services. So basically, the challenge that we're going to be focused this week is on, okay, if I'm a consumer, I have $10 and I want to figure out where can I get the most satisfaction from consuming a good or service between 2 goods. So I go to the store with $10 and I want to buy 2 goods. What should I do? Where should I get the maximum satisfaction? That's what you're focused on this week. And it's dealing with our preferences. And when we look at our preferences, we're looking at this indifference curve right here between 2 goods, clothing and food. And when you look at these 2 goods, you notice you have preferences and you have a utility that you gain from this. The only thing we're missing in this in this indifference curve is an actual budget. So we need to figure out with my preferences, where do you think it's the best that I consume at given my budget and utility. Also, higher indifference curves are more desirable than low indifference curves. So make sure to look at that. Higher is always better than lower indifference curves. You want to find indifference curves cannot intersect. So you'll never see intersections. That is a violation. You'll also see, let me see if I can get the budget line here for you. Here's your budget line right here. The budget line is looking at how much you can actually buy given your budget. Now what you're going to do is put the budget line and the utility or indifference curve line. We notice that we would love to consume on this one right here because we're more satisfied at this level than we are at either U1 or U2, but we can't because we don't have the budget for it. So that's what you're going to be focused on right here. Where is this tangency point? Point A. Where is my satisfaction equal to the amount of clothing and food that I want to purchase given my satisfaction and given my budget? So this is the point that you would want to focus on. Now for Chapter 4, we're going to be looking at the demand curve. Let me look at some of the concepts here. We're going to be looking at the demand curve, how it's derived, and the income and substitution effect. We'll notice that individual demand curves is how we focus and how we aggregate the market demand curve. You're also going to be looking at consumer surplus. And when we look at the concept of consumer surplus, we're concerned about how consumers make decisions in markets and how do they maximize their behavior. For example, let me see if I can find the graph here for you. If you look at consumer surplus right here, let's say that a consumer is willing to pay $20 for a good or service. However, they go to the store and they only have to pay $10. The consumer actually saved $10. They were willing to pay $20, but they only had to pay $10. That's a concept of consumer surplus, and that's what that's focused on. So that's another one of the concepts that we're going to be focused on this week. Make sure to review the requirements and have your work in by Saturday night, as I look forward to your effort this week. And if you have any questions, please let me know.